Hello everyone. Welcome to the TeQSpoc. My name is Anush Kumar, a JIRA administrative trainer. So, in this session, that is a session 5, these are the following agendas and topic we will cover. So, we will see how to create a sprint, how to move the requirement from product backlog to sprint backlog, how to do prioritization in sprint backlog and product backlog both. How to edit the product backlog or sprint backlog, we will see. How we will create a sprint goal, we will see that. Then how to select the sprint length, we will see. We will see the status in the project, we will see that. Then we will see how to board creation and addition. Then how to edit the column under the active sprint, we will see that. How to change the position of column in an active sprint board, we will do that as a admin things. And how to reassign the status. So before jumping into the Jira software, let us understand few of the terminologies which we are going through in this session. So what is sprint? Basically, earlier session we have seen what is sprint. So let me again explain you. A sprint is a time boxing event where the actual development work takes place. Means the developer will start working upon the user story in the sprint. Okay. So sprint is a part of the Scrum framework. So duration of the sprint will be of 1 to 4 weeks. So generally in company, 2 week sprint is taken. Then then we will start the sprint. Okay, by moving the requirement from product backlog to sprint backlog. Okay, then we will start working on those requirement. Then we will complete the requirement. Okay, there are few things we have to remember. To complete a sprint, you have to complete all the requirement. Okay, to close the sprint. If you will not close the sprint, matlab, if you have not complete the all the requirement or not move the all the issues or requirement into a done status, then you have to move this incompleted requirement to the next sprint before closing the current sprint. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in the mind. After completing one sprint, you can start the next sprint. Okay, without completing a one sprint, you cannot start the another sprint. So this is the basic thing. Then afterward, in next classes, we will also see how to start the two sprint parallelly. Okay, now moving to the next. Now, when you active code, what is active code? So when you start the sprint, you will see the all the requirement in the active code. Okay, as you start a sprint, you can see the active board, the all the requirement are moved into the active board, and in the active board you can do all the editing of the things in the respective card. Okay, so then you can see all the issues in of the different status. Which in active board, the issue which are in to do, you will see different layer in active board. So which are in to do will be in to do state, which are in done, you can move to the done state through the active board. Okay, so you can see the card, you can move the card from to do to in progress or to done. If the issue status is changed, if you have changed the your status of the requirement, like you are working on a story. Okay, now currently the story in to do state, you have start working and working on, so you have changed the status to in progress. So automatically the card will be moved from to do to in progress. Okay, now, so in every sprint, there will be a sprint goal. Okay, without sprint goal, there is no sense of creating or starting the sprint. Okay, so what is the sprint goal? So sprint goal is a single or clear object set for the sprint that provide a guidance to the Scrum team on why they are building the product increment during the sprint. Means through the seeing the sprint goal, the developer understand what they are going to do in this current sprint. Okay, so sprint goal is basically a single one-liner, clear objective. By seeing through the sprint goal, we can see, oh, this is the goal we want to achieve in this sprint, basically. So key point. So basically, sprint goal is defined under a sprint planning meeting. So in Scrum, there will be different types of meeting. First is a sprint planning meeting. So inside the sprint planning meeting, the sprint goal will be decided. Okay. Then, so what uh, sprint goal basically help us to the team to focus on making a decision during the sprint. Okay. Now it should be a specific sprint goal should be a specific and achievable. Okay. So that developer can achieve the requirement in that duration of the sprint, whatever will be duration, 1 week to 4 week. Okay. And the requirement should be aligned with the product goal or customer requirement. Okay. The sprint goal remains fixed during the sprint. So as you have started the sprint, you have created the sprint goal. So that will be fixed during the sprint, even though the backlog will be changed. So backlog is a dynamic in nature. It will basically keep on changing according to the your requirement of the customer or stakeholder basically. Now, what is sprint planning? As we can see, the sprint goal is basically decided under sprint planning. So let's see what is sprint planning. So basically, sprint planning is a meeting. It is a part of the Scrum framework. There will be basically a four meeting in Scrum framework. That is sprint planning meeting, DSU, that is a daily stand-up meeting, which is basically a 15-minute meeting in the starting of in the morning every day, which is basically developer will do the meeting. Then we have a review meeting, and then last is a retrospective meeting. So here we will talk about the sprint planning meeting. So in sprint planning meeting is a key Scrum event held at the starting of each sprint, where the Scrum team come together and plan the work to be delivered in the upcoming sprint. Basically, in sprint planning meeting, all the Scrum team will sit together, have a meeting. What they will basically discuss in next means current upcoming sprint, what work they will do, how they will achieve the work, what thing they will needed to achieve this work. The all thing will be discussed in sprint planning meeting. And also in this sprint planning meeting, they will prioritize the product backlog, sprint backlog. Then in they will also do the story pointing. They will give the story pointing to the respective stories. Okay. This thing will be also. And in sprint planning, also the Scrum Master will do capacity planning of the team. Means how much amount of capacity is basically there, which can be put in the sprint to achieve the goal. Okay. So next, what is the purpose? To define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that work can be achieved. This is the purpose of the sprint planning. So who attend the sprint planning? Basically, a Scrum team attend the sprint planning. So a Scrum team, we have Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Development team. Okay. So basically, these three persons are there inside the Scrum team. If somebody asks, tell me, give me the roles which are under the Scrum team. So you can say in a Scrum team we have a Scrum Master, we have product owner. So product owner is basically a owner of the product backlog. He will do prioritization and everything. Okay, done by the product owner. Scrum master basically manage the this development team or basically Scrum team. Okay, and the development team basically work on the task. They are basically a backend developer, front-end developer, which these are the people which actually work on the given task. Now, sprint planning, what are the key outputs? In during the sprint planning, we create the sprint goal. Okay. We can prioritize the sprint backlog, product backlog. Okay. This thing we do. What is basically a agenda of sprint planning meeting? So basically agenda of sprint planning meeting is why is this sprint is valuable? Means defining of the sprint goal basically. What can be done in this sprint means how we can achieve the goal and how will the chosen work get done means how you are what are the steps you will take to complete this work and then what are the way you will execute. This is the basically agenda. This thing is basically discussed in sprint planning. So now coming to the practical. Now let's see in the our Atlassian software, that is a Jira software, how to do the things. First, coming into the backlog. Let me first duplicate it. So currently we are in project 7. inside a product backlog. This is our backlog. Okay. And this is our sprint, which is not yet started. Okay. So first we will create few stories. Click. I have currently two stories. I will create a few more stories like story 6, story 7, story 8. So I have created the few stories. The first we will see how to prioritize the product backlog. So prioritization means high priority element will be moved to the first. Okay. So if I have given this story 8 as a highest priority, and now I want to move this story to the top, then how we can move it? The first way of doing the thing is click in story, drag upward. So this is the first way of moving the stories into the top. Drag in this way, you have moved the story. Second way of moving the story to the top according to prioritization, click on the stories which you want to move to the top. Click left mouse button, select move the work item to top of the backlog. Yeah, up. Or move to the down to click on down, move to the bottom to click on the bottom. Currently, we want to move to the top of backlog, click on the top of the backlog. See, the story has moved to the top 5 and 6. Okay. So this is the one way of doing the thing. Okay. Now, now next thing is in this session we will talking about the sprint. So how we will put the requirement from product backlog to sprint backlog. So okay. So first we will see how to create a sprint. From this create button, we can create the sprint. Okay. So we can see sprints 3. Okay. Currently this is in this way we have created the sprint. Okay. Now one more thing before creating a sprint, by default, one sprint is already created. You can start working at this sprint by moving the requirement from product backlog to this sprint 2, or you want to delete, you can delete in this way sprint, delete this sprint. Okay. Are you sure you want to delete the sprint? Yes, I am sure. So I have deleted the sprint. How I have created the sprint? I have created the sprint in just clicking on the create sprint, and the sprint has been created. Okay. So currently I want only one sprint. I will delete the sprint 4. I delete sprint. Now, as we have created the one sprint. Now click on this three dot. Click on edit sprint. In here you can change the name of your sprint. Okay. In this way, duration. So I have said duration of the sprint from 1 to 4 week. As you can see, it is also mentioned. So basically, in companies, we will go with the 2 week sprint. So select 2 week sprint. You want to select from which date you want to start the sprint. So today is 3 May to 2025. So I will select the today's date. Then automatically the end date will be taken. As you take the start date, automatically the end date, that is after 2 week, day will be taken. Now he from sprint goal you can see here. From here you can write the sprint goal which is being decided in the sprint planning meeting. So let me sprint goal is creating the home page. CRE creating the home page. This is my sprint goal, okay, in general. So I update it. So I have created the sprint. My sprint name is P7 sprint 3. This is the duration, means my sprint is starting from the 2nd May and ending on the 16th May. Okay. This is our duration. And this creating the home page. You can see this. This is basically a goal. Whatever the sprint goal you have written, you can see here. This is the sprint goal. Basically, it will display here on. Okay. And this is the sprint name. This is the duration. It will start from 2 May and 16 May. It will end. Okay. Now, how we will move the requirement from product backlog to sprint backlog? Let's see. First way of doing the thing is click here, drag and drop. Okay, so in this way we are drag and drop. In this way you are moving the requirement, and second way is select the requirement click the left mouse button, move to the sprint 3. So requirement has been moved to the sprint 3. Okay. Now, so I have currently moved a 4 requirement. Okay. Now you can see this things, that is not started stories. Then when, so basically with the story which are in to do state at not started. Okay. When, and when we start working on the story, we will move to the in progress state. So then after moving to in progress state, here the story point will be displayed. So let me this. Now here currently we don't have a story point. Let me give a 5 story point here. Then we will give 5 story point to this also. Then 5 story point to this also, and 5 story point. uh, Close this one, and 5 story point to this story also. So see, as we have given the 5 story point which are in to do state, which is not yet started. So here we can see the total number of story point is 20. You can see not started 20 story point. And as we move from to do to in progress, so you can see 5 story point, that is a story 5 has a 5 story point. So here you can see here in progress total how many 5 story point is there. So if interview somebody asks total how many story point is there in the sprint, and how many story point in progress, how many stories point is in done state. So in this way, you can see that that is 15 story point in to do state and 5 story point in progress state. This is the general way you can tell the things. Okay. Now, this is the story. Now let me, as we start the, so how we will start the sprint? You can see start the sprint. Click on basically start the sprint. You can see here 2 week sprint. Do you want to make any change before starting? No, I don't want to do any change. Let it be. Okay. And this is a sprint. Start the sprint. As we have started the sprint here, so we can see as we start the sprint, the we can see the sprint has been moved to the active sprint. So here all the requirement we can see in the active sprint. Okay. So these are different status to do, in progress, and done. Okay. And this all three is basically a our workflow is from to do we will move to in progress, from in progress we will do to done state. This is the basic workflow. And the requirement which are in to do state, they are shown in to do state. The requirement which are in no sorry the requirement which are in to do state, they are in to do state column. The requirement which are in progress state, they are in progress column. Okay. And which are in done state column. Okay. Now let me show you one few more things. You have seen how to do move the status from in progress to done. Okay. From in active sprint, how we can move the column from in progress to done is first dragging and dropping. If you have started working on the story, drag and drop to the in progress. Okay. See, in drag and drop, we can move the column. On second way of doing the changing the status is just click on this stories. You can see here to do in progress, done, close. So see this story is automatically moved. So this is basically a card. This is a card. This is a card. This is a status column, and this whole thing is a workflow. Okay. In this way, we are moving the things. Okay. Now coming to the this way. Now moving to the done state. In this way, you move to the done state. In this way, you can move to the done state. Now coming to the this thing. One more thing I want to tell you. Like move again into this. Okay. Now let me assign to Anuj Kumar. Let me assign to a different person, Anuj, and this assigned to a different person, Anuj K95. Okay. And let me add, these are the stories basically. Then, huh, refresh, stuck, refresh. Okay. Refreshing the screen, refresh. If whenever you feel stuck, just refresh your screen and good to go. Now you can see a grouped by means currently we can see the grouping in the story format. If we want to see by the assignee, click on assignee, and you can see to developer Anuj Kumar, one story is there. To developer Anuj, one story is there. To developer Anuj K95, one story is been assigned. So in this way, we are grouping the things. Okay. Now again, I will group the things by story only. See, it is grouped by story. Similarly, we can group by project or we can group by assignment. Okay. Same thing, the same thing which we are seeing in grouped by, the same thing is done with the this thing. One more thing, click on the three dot, go to a configure board. Here you can see swim lanes. The same thing is basically done by the swim lane only. You want to grouped by a story, assignee, epic project, you can select this. Okay, assign. So the same thing is done by the swim lane. Okay, active. Okay, the same thing is done by the swim lane and the same thing is done by the grouped by. Okay, so we have the same. Now currently we have to do status, in progress status, done status. Okay, you can see this plus. You can add TESTIN testing. Okay. So in this way, we can add the new column. Okay. So now currently we have four status: to do, in progress, testing, and done. Because the story in to do state, the developer has start working. Okay, or done the work. After the developer has done the work, the tester will come in the place. They will start testing. So from here we can see that the tester is testing on the user story. Okay. In this way, we are adding the new column or new status like testing or after testing, the developer will what we do test case preparation, test case P-R-E-P-A-R-A-T and test case preparation, enter. So we can see now the developer has currently it is in to do state. Developer has start working on the stories. Now the tester will do the testing. Okay, then tester will do the test case preparation, and after that the story will be marked as a done. So this thing we have completed. Now click here. If you want to delete the this basic column, so click here and delete the column. Okay, deleting the column, delete. So the column has been deleted. The same thing you can go here, go to three dot, configure board, column. You can see you want to delete here. These are the column. You want to delete a column. Click on this delete. First. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Click on delete, and you can delete. Okay. Similar way, you want to add the things. Click on this plus icon. Add a column to do in progress done. So we want to add testing. TESTI testing. I have added the testing. Add the column. So now I have added the testing. So the same thing we can done from the column here. Now we have seen column sequence. So what is the journal? Click on the journal. Currently our active board, the name is P7 Sprint 3. You want to change this name, go to journal, change the name from board. I can change uh, Anuj, enter, see, refresh. Refresh, Anuj, Anuj board, Anuj this, edit filter, active board, refresh. No problem. It is not doing so. Let me change. This is a backlog. Backlog is there. Sprint 3 is there. Click here. Edit the sprint. From here also, you can change the sprint name. Update. So see, sprint is name is changed. Sprint name is changed. Okay. If from one means from if things is not working from here, you have the second option also to change the things. Okay. So in this way, you can change the things. Let me again try to change the name from the journal. Refresh. Oh, setting for P7 Anuj. Duplicate, duplicate. This is P7 Anuj, P7 Anuj. Backlog. Project 7, P7. Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. We can see the name is changed here, P7 Anuj. Yeah, yeah. The name is already get changed. Okay. And from here, you can change the sprint name. That is this. Okay. So the things are working fine. No problem. Now we have seen how to do the things. Okay. Now I want to show you one more thing. Like and this is sprint 7 backlog. Okay. Let me move to the project 6 and we have currently backlog. One is there created. This is the epic. This is the story point. Now if I want to create a subtask, I want to show you a one advanced thing. Means you have to know as a JIRA administrator, you have to know the things. So that's why I'm showing you. Click on add a subtask. So how the basically the story point is divided into the subtask means uh, the first subtask will be like if you are started working on any user story, okay, then what will be developer will do? Developer will analyze ANAL by S and analyze the user story. Okay, then what developer will do? The next step will be developer will start coding. So then the coding part will be come. After coding, what will happen? After coding, the code review will be done. So code review. These are the subtasks. Then after code review, the developer will do the unit testing. Then unit testing. So these four items are basically done by the backend developer. Starting the story, they will analyze the all the requirement. Then they will do start working means they start coding, and after coding, they will do code review. Then after code review, they will do the unit testing. This is the done by developer backend. Now the tester part come into this picture. Like a first the tester, what will do? Tester will create a test and create the test case. Yeah, test case preparation. Test case. The tester will create the test case. The tester will review the test case. That is the review the test case. Then tester will review the test case. The next step, what will happen? The tester, after reviewing the execution, it will execute the test case. Execution of test case. After execution, what will happen? It will identify the defect. Okay. Identification means by the defect. After identifying the defect, it will do retesting. That it is after uh, doing it is working fine or not. It will do retesting. So this thing is basically done by the tester. The tester will first what will do? It will create here. It will do what? It will create a test case preparation, then test case review, then test case execution, then identify the defect and this retesting. So this thing is basically done by the developer plus tester. So in these are the basically general subtasks. So so you can see now. So as I have created close this one subtask here. Now this is our sprint. I want to move the is to okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I want to move this story to the sprint. Drag and drop. Okay. I have moved. Then start the sprint. Start the sprint. Sprint name is sprint 6. It is of 2 week. I want 1 week. The start date is from Saturday. I want to start, or from Monday. I want to start. The end date will automatically take in goal. Goal is working. Let me say working on form login. Yeah, creating a form. So working on uh, working on user page like this. Okay, start. So I have started the sprint. Okay. After started the sprint, we can see the active sprint. We can see all the requirement. Okay. So for like this is a user story, and these are the subtasks. For completing a sprint, first you have to complete the all the subtasks. Okay. Then after you can complete the sprint. So I am moving from in progress to done state. Okay. So in this way, you can complete your sprint. Without completing the all the work, you cannot complete the sprint. Okay, basically, if you will want to complete without completing the all the stories or subtasks, then what will happen? Let me show you. If I want to complete the this, you can see here this story have this number of the task which है ना, two tasks are in progress and other tasks four tasks are done and two tasks are to do still. Okay, if I want to come as a complete, see, you can see this sprint contains zero completed work item. One work item is open. Okay, move the open work item to, so it is asking you want to move the open item to back to the backlog, or if uh, I will create one more sprint. I create one more sprint, that is sprint 2, and edit sprint, and let this sprint is starting 1 week, and this sprint is starting from this, and sprint goal is something, well, some goal is I have written. Okay, update. Now I want first refresh. uh, Now if I want to complete the sprint, click refresh. It is asking you want to move the work to new sprint backlog. So I want to new sprint. I want move the item to new sprint complete. See. So this one. See. So sprint 3, you can see the uncompleted item or in progress item are moved to the sprint 3 and sprint 2. Okay. So in this way. So this is the way. And now I want to you this thing you have seen for completing a sprint. First, complete all the item. If you will not complete the all the item, it will ask to move the incompleted item to the next sprint. Now I want to complete this sprint 3. Just mark this item as a done. Mark this item as a done. Done state. Done state. Done state. Okay. Okay. In this way, you can mark the things. Okay, done state. Have not started. First, start this thing. All things are marked in done state. Okay, move to done. Done. Is I have completed. Now mark this as a See, as I have moved the item, the subtask to done state, automatically the user story is been gone to a done state. Okay. Now, now you can complete the sprint. Complete the sprint three. How we are completing the sprint? Everything is marked to the done state. Now, if we complete the sprint, it will not ask to move that because everything has been completed. Now, the thing you can see, create a retrospective meeting for the sprint or retrospective documentation in the Confluence. The Confluence is a third-party application which we integrate in JIRA software where we are doing the documentation basically. So, what is a retrospective? So, I have told you there in Scrum there is four meeting: sprint planning meeting, daily stand-up meeting, review meeting, and retrospective. So in retrospective meeting, we will discuss what went well, what did not went well, and how we can improve in the next sprint. So this thing we basically discuss on retrospective meeting. Now complete the sprint. So our sprint has been completed. So in this way, we are creating and completing the sprint. Okay. So now in this, I have told you how to create the sprint. Okay, how to move the backlog item from a product backlog to sprint backlog. Okay. Then, one more thing I want to tell you that story point is given to the stories, not to the subtask. Okay. Subtask you will give the original type estimate. Okay. Means how much time you will require to do the subtask. Okay. The story pointing will only be given to the stories, not to a subtask. Okay. Then I have defined sprint goal. What is sprint meeting? How we can start the sprint? What is active board? Whenever we start a new sprint, the active board will be shown. Okay, so these are active board. Similarly, we will see the all the other things how we will do such kind of addition in the column. In next classes, we will see how we will do. Okay, here we have seen is assigned by the epic. The one epic is this only, and no other epic. So two epics there are there. So it is assigned by epic, grouped by assigned by assignee. So by assignee, there's Anuj Kumar, this story are assigned, unassigned story are this. No person is assigned to this story. In this way, we are grouped by. Okay. Now let's so then we have seen how to change the status from to do to in progress to done. In this way, we are changing the status. How to add the new columns we have seen. By in this way, we are adding the new column. Add the new column and click on this. Okay. Then after starting the sprint, you move the story from product backlog to sprint backlog. We have seen, you know. So this is the journey. So this is all for today session. We will see the other few more things inside this active backlog. That is, we will see in next session all the things how we can edit the thing as a admin, how we can edit the respective column. So this thing we will see in the next session. Thank you for now. Meet you in the next session.
Contact us for the free job assistance. We will help you to get the IT job. Please like, subscribe, and share the channel for more regular updates from TeQSpoc.